I am tearing up.
I just about screamed right now, and I'm not even there.
Now that's inspirational, Natalie. I feel inspired today.
Part two of this.
I could be here for another hour.
And then I was top of my class. There were only 2 of us, and the other guy was in the hospital. So here I am.
And I always go, he winds up homeless on the street. It's my fault.
Yeah, now you sound like my wife.
And you can get off.
I don't know. Call it Google. Or call it Google.
Yeah. Control. Alexa, how does he get across?
Paul, I cut you off earlier. What were you going to say?
What?
Dang it! Don't do that to me, Paul. Don't do that to me, man.
I don't know what got into my head, but I thought this thought, if I'm working year round, I might as well get paid year round.
Sweet Talk is a weekly 20-minute podcast brought to you by the Continuing Education and Workforce Training Division of Idaho State University's College of Technology. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud, and subscribe today. Now, it's time to get started with Sweet Talk.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sweet Talk. You're hearing me start this off instead of Paul today because Paul's out doing some filming on another project for us. But Angela Wilhelm's with us, Shirley Hockett's here, and our special guest from Cosmetology, Casie Jensen, is also joining us. We're about to get into a great podcast talking about cosmetology, which I got to admit, I don't know as much about as probably most of the rest of you, but I'm eager to learn and listen to what I think is going to be a fun time. Angela, thank you for coming on board again. You are looking great. I love the background. And this is another Fridays. We're doing a lot of these on Fridays, so that's wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Gary. How are you?
I'm enjoying life. I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm working from home today, and glad that both you and Shirley are working in the office and doing a great thing for us there. Shirley, how's it going on your side? You doing all right today?
I'm doing fine.
Good. Very, very good. And welcome to Casie. Casie Jensen is the program coordinator for cosmetology here at the College of Technology. She is in the same building where the rest of us work, the Roy F. Christensen building. And I'm so excited to have her here to talk about her program. Welcome, Casie. Are you doing okay today?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's Friday and we've got a full floor of colors and haircuts and all kinds of things going on.
You guys always have so many things going on down there. It's fun, and you do little special events and things. Maybe we can get into that later, but I think for our audience's sake, maybe we could learn a little bit about you first to start off in your background, and then we can get into what is cosmetology.
Okay, I'd love to share that. I came to ISU, the College of Technology program, as a non-traditional student about 20 years ago.
Oh.
I had life-changing circumstances, and I was able to come and begin a whole new career, a career that I'd wanted to do for a long time, but put on the back burner. And my first question to my instructor after the first week was, how do I do what you do? That's what I want to do. And she said to me, calm down. You have 3.5 semesters to get through, and then we'll talk. Mm-hmm. Well, 15 years later, I am here as the coordinator doing what my mentor was doing, and it is a delight. My father taught on campus for 40 years, and so it's kind of cool to be his daughter and be in his place on ISU campus.
What a great start for the journey that has been, and what a nice connection back to ISU with your dad. So I mean, you're literally an alumni. You've got a lot of history here. And it's cool to have you back running that wonderful shop down there. That's fun. Great. Hey, let me ask you the first question. This, because for a guy like me, not all guys do this, but I'm like cosmetology. When I first heard it, are we talking like Cosmo, like stars and things? But that's not what cosmetology is. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, cosmetology is the care of hair, skin, nails, and coloring hair, perming hair. It's a stylist or a person you can go to for advice for any kind of new look, trending look, for specialty care of skin, aesthetics. We kind of do it all.
So when you say you do it all, that's wigs come in as well into that?
Wigs do come in. In fact, ISU has a program called Wigs on Loan. Anyone who has medical hair loss can come in and have a one-on-one consultation with an instructor and a student, and we will customize a wig for them. And for $10 deposit, they take the wig and can go and feel confident and secure as they go through their medical treatment. And when they bring the wig back, they get their $10 back. So it's a great program and service that we get to offer.
Well, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that. And a very unique thing that you do with our community, which is very, very cool. How does somebody, or maybe you can start by talking a little bit about the different programs. I mean, you mentioned skincare. Is that different from like hair care, or are they part of the same thing, or what?
So as a cosmetologist graduate, you go and you take licensing boards through the state of Idaho Board of Cosmetology. And when you pass those tests, and there's a practical and a theory test, then you are licensed as a stylist for hair, an esthetician. You can do skincare and all of that. And you are licensed to do manicures and pedicures. You can shave with a guarded razor. Now, if you're a barber and have a barber's license, they can shave with a straight razor. So there's a little bit of difference there. And we do offer that kind of grandfathering course for licensed cosmetologists to get that section of the license of shaving with a straight razor. But you come out being able to do perms, colors, everything. Pedicures, manicures.
Wow. So I'm sorry, Angela, I saw you about to ask a question. So when you come out of cosmetology, you said 3 semesters, right?
Yeah, 3 semesters plus an 8-week in the summer.
Plus an 8-week in the summer.
So like 3.5.
So then after that, you have to then go for a license, or do you come out with a license?
You go and you take state board licensure tests.
Wow.
One a
That's a lot more
hands-on.
complicated than I thought.
Yeah. One is a hands-on test that takes about 5 hours. And the other is a theory test that they can take actually right here in our testing center at ISU. The others are done in Boise.
In Boise. Okay. So the students have to travel to Boise. They can't do that. Well, it's hands-on. They can't do it virtually, of course.
Yeah. It's okay.
I got that.
So I have a question for you, and I'm probably jumping the gun with this. As someone who does go get my hair done professionally, I always learn things from my hairdresser. Always, without a doubt, I'm always continuing to learn. So my question for you is, what is the most common mistake people make with their day-to-day hair care? And what should they be doing instead?
Probably the most common that we see is that we don't protect our hair from the UV rays, from heat of our styling tools. And we just think that this hair that has grown out of our head is going to stay healthy and strong. But we abuse it a lot. We abuse it with wrong products, with heat, with the sun. And so the biggest piece of advice would be a heat protectant or a styling product that has sunscreen in it, because once the hair leaves your scalp, it is technically dead. But we can maintain that hair from the scalp out to however long by treating it right and keeping it as healthy and as strong and protected against those elements and against the heat of styling tools.
Well, I can test to the point about being technically dead because mine left and it never came back, so I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah. Do you get guys who come in and come into cosmetology? It's mostly a woman's world, but are guys coming in and learning that now?
Oh yeah, it's not just women. We actually have a male student right now who is top of the line. And for some reason, we are seeing that women would prefer a male cosmetologist. There's something there that they trust more than their own female person.
Oh, wow.
But we do have men. We have had, in the 5 years I've been here, we've had 5 or 6 different men join our program. And it's always nice to have a little bit of testosterone amongst all that estrogen.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
What types of careers, we typically just think of nail and hair, but what types of careers are there for the students who go through your program?
The nice thing is it has a huge variety of career paths. One is the typical behind the chair, owning your own salon or working for someone. There is editorial work that is really getting popular with even our school. There's research. We have a student that went and got her master's in chemistry after finishing cosmetology. She now is one of the top chemists for hair care products and has big companies looking at her to buy her creations or her research that she has done to reconstruct the hair, in that there are 3 layers to each hair strand on our head. She has found a 4th layer that is actually the strength of the hair. So there's that route. Movies, theater, they're always looking for people to come in and help with makeup and hair products and hairstyling, barbering, facials and aesthetics. You can also go into retail. A lot of our supply houses, the employees are all licensed cosmetologists that really can answer your questions and help you in your field.
That's a lot broader than I was thinking. What is editorial work? I'm not sure what that is.
Editorial work is with magazines or newspapers or photography. You are actually on the set or on the writing team to help produce and put out that kind of a hard copy work.
Oh, that's amazing. I had the good fortune of being at the Scottsdale Fashion Show a number of years ago, and they took me behind the scenes, and it was like chaos back
Total
there. With
chaos.
Costumes, people chasing people to get hair. I go, oh my gosh, and so many different people back there focusing. So I imagine also that's kind of like the theater folks. They're taking care of
And we have hair shows that the back scenes, you've got people back there that are licensed cosmetologists, makeup artists that are in that crazy fast-paced movement of a show or of a production of some kind.
And do you have any productions coming up or hair shows that people may want to come and watch?
So every year we do a hair show, spring or early summer. Because of COVID, we have switched our pathway a little bit, and we do our main attraction, and we have categories that the students sign up for, and then they create whatever that category is. So we have avant-garde, which is just no parameters whatsoever. They can do anything and create and step out of the box. We have haircutting categories where they compete in haircutting. We have color categories. We have bridal, where they do bridal updos, bridal styling that they compete against each other. Fantasy is another category where they create like characters from movies or styles that represent some sort of fantasy. So there's all kinds of different categories that they can compete in, and it's really fun. And we have hosted it at the Sub Ballroom prior to COVID, and it was really, really big. We had other schools come in from around this area and compete with us. Because of COVID, we've cut back a little bit, but our plan is to get that up and big again instead of just held with our students. But it is a lot of fun, and it's fun. People come and they're always very surprised what these students can produce with hair.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds amazing. I've seen some of those, I think, when they were being held there in your spaces, but I can just see, because you mentioned inviting other schools in, I think could be as big as like Tech Expo, which they hold down the whole arena. But in this case, it's all featuring cosmetology folks. Are there stars or well-known people in cosmetology? Speaker kind of folks?
Yeah, in fact, one of my instructors and myself, we get to go to California in a couple of weeks, and we will be cutting hair with Sam Villa, who is the premier top of the line hair cutting artist, and has been for many, many years. And we are just super excited. One that everybody may know, Vidal Sassoon. He was early on. There was always commercials you saw about Vidal, and he was, the dreamy hair cutter and product chemist. So yeah, there are so many, and there's a lot of hair shows that have been on TV that have produced amazing stylists out of those hair shows.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those on television where there are competitions for people who can do hair and makeup, and it's really, really interesting watching those. I've learned a lot from them. I watched one where a girl, they all had to dye hair and they pulled people off the street, and one lady got a girl that literally her hair, they called it melted, and she got color to stick, and apparently that was extraordinarily hard to do. But it's so fascinating in these TV programs to watch what they do, because they give you so much education on what happens behind the scene and the damage that happens to people's hair and how difficult it is to treat or fix.
Yes, that is probably the biggest challenge, is we call it a color correction, because there's so many options of home products, and YouTube has done hair no favors, because they can jump on and watch someone, and they may not even be licensed, and they're taking their word for it, and then they go home and try it. And we get them coming in, and it's quite the challenge to correct or to salvage or to even calm the tears. It can get pretty intense.
On that note, with a home, is there any product over the counter that a person could use with the thought of, not totally destroying their hair? My youngest daughter used to go through life crisis when she was younger and go out and buy coloring. And I told her one day, I said, one of these days you're going to wake up, your head's going to leave the pillow, but your hair is going to be left.
That is so true. And the sad thing is, it's not just young teenage girls. If you go to a hair show, you will see grown women and men that have just can't leave it alone. But as far as over the counter grocery store products, there really isn't
a safe one,
a professional line of grocery store products. A lot of times those products add additives like salt or dilute it with lots of water. And so the hair can only take so much of that before the individual hair strands are going to just explode. They just can't keep carrying the weight of wax that is in some of the conditioners. And so it's really important, if you are going to spend the money to have your hair colored or taken care of in a professional salon, that you use professional products, because it's going to give longevity to that color, to that style, and protect your hair to the fullest ability.
Yeah.
So no Kool-Aid.
No Kool-Aid. That is a very popular one amongst grade school, middle school. It does color your hair, and sometimes it does not come out unless you cut the hair.
So with Halloween coming up, is that something that we might be seeing more of?
Oh, definitely. And the spray-in hairsprays that are colored, the black that they want to do for the dramatic look, that is one of the hardest things to get out of someone's hair, to the point of you may just have to grow it out or cut it off.
Drastic measures.
Yeah.
But that's a good learning point too for anybody who goes down that way. We have a few minutes left, Casie. So I do want to make sure we get back to your programs from your perspective. You know, what is the most popular part of your program? What do people who come into cosmetology really like? Is it the hair cutting? Is it the chemical figuring out, nails? What do they like the most?
I would say it's the hair cutting and the color, because of the creativity that they can draw from themselves in producing a finished look of a picture that someone brought in, or a technique that they've seen on YouTube or something. But there's so many varieties. I mean, men's hair cutting, women's hair cutting, perming, coloring, nails. I have students that absolutely hate to give a perm, and they're like, I'll do what I have to do here, but I will never own perm rods in my salon. And others who think they're coming for all the color and everything, and they end up being really specialized in men's hair cutting. And so you get a real variety and change of mind as they progress through it. I came thinking I was going to do nails, and nails were going to be my go-to. I hate doing nails.
Oh.
And that just is kind of the fun of it, is you learn and you end up finding your niche.
Very, very much like a lot of careers too.
Yeah.
Is there one favorite story that pops up that you'd care to share with us? Something that's happened in your classes or with student, or can you share one with us before we go?
Sure. The one that pops into my mind is one of the best teaching lessons that we were able to take a disaster and really teach the students a great concept. So we had a student who over the summer had her hair straightened chemically, and it was great. But then she came back in the fall and she wanted highlights. And hi puppy.
Sorry about that.
Hey,
that's my alarm clock going on.
I'm a dog lover. So anyway, she wanted highlights, but chose not, or didn't think about telling us that she had had her hair chemically straightened over the summer. So they got highlights about halfway through her hair, and a student came running in to me and said, these foils are like hot. I can't touch them. I'm like, no. So I just kind of calmly walked out. Well, when I got there, it was like touching a hot stove. She had a chemical reaction with the bleach that were highlights and the chemicals that had straightened her hair. As I opened one of the foils, there was literal heat coming out, smoke. And I'm like, get her to the sink, hold those, and start running water. Well, they just kind of thought it was a casual thing. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. Run, hurry to the sink. And in order to shut down that chemical reaction, the water was not strong enough to neutralize either one. So we ended up having to pour a Sprite soda pop on her hair to shut that chemical reaction down. And it Sprite, and it all has to do with the pH balance of all the chemicals in the hair products, the water, the straightener. The Sprite was able to shut that down, especially on her scalp, because there were places it was burning her scalp, and that allowed us to shut it down with the pH of the Sprite. And to this day, it's like one of the ones that always pops into my mind as being, it could have been disastrous, but it was also a really great teaching lesson.
So it's kind of like the doctor's office and they had to check up all these ailments and what.
Yeah, and her hair was, if you pulled it, it looked like wet spaghetti, and just you pull it and it won't go back into a straight line shape because it's no longer hair. So there are lots of those, but that one caught everybody's attention in the salon that day.
Wow, what a fascinating story that is. Wow. Hey, sorry for the alarm clock, but you heard our timer went off, and so did one of my pups.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, before we do start wrapping it up, we need to give you an opportunity, Casie, to let anybody in the audience who might want to reach out and learn more about cosmetology or contact you. What would be the best way for them to do that?
They can call the College of Technology. Phil Jones is our counselor and our advisor, but they can also feel free to call us at 208-282-2866, and they can ask to talk to me or email me, and I'll answer any questions. And that number also goes for any clients, potential clients. We'd love our clients that allow us to teach and to help our students grow.
Now, is that the same phone number someone could call if they would like the rent the wig program if they're going through?
Yes, it is. Same number, schedule an appointment, and then we just do that one-on-one. And that wig program has been one of the most incredible opportunities in teaching and giving back.
Very good. And great for bringing that up, Angela. And if somebody did want to come in and be a client, I just want to bring this up for folks. Cosmetology has its own parking spots out front for everybody who comes here, so you don't have to be worried about coming on campus. And you can park right in front of the building. I'm jealous. You have your own spots out there. That's a cool thing.
We don't get to use them, but yeah, the clients do.
Yeah, that's right. It's for the clients. All right. Well, hey, we probably need to wrap this up. Angela, what do you think? This has been a very informative podcast.
It's been so fun. I'm so glad that, Casie, you were able to join us and answer a few of our questions. Especially with the wigs. I didn't know you guys, ISU held that program. Thank you so much for being on with us. And if anyone is looking to get a hold of us at continuing education, you can do so by email. Our cetrain.isu.edu is our website, and you can feel free to call us as well.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Shirley. Thanks, Angela. Casie, good luck in Hollywood. You're going to California with some guy, Sam Villa, doing some good luck with that. You know, what an awesome thing to do. I'm sure you bring back some great stories. Thank you for joining us here. Everybody out there, you have a great weekend, a great next week, and be safe.
Thank you.